In Steele's claim, talking about how people can come together and work as a society to try to reduce these social contingencies and identity threats, I believe that my proposal and my solution could help limit these by, for example, my training program solution. It is a feasible solution that actually does occur a lot in the US, where the Department of Labor will contact a college. So maybe an area is lacking workers in one field or one career. So they'll reach out to a local college and they'll say, "Hey, we're gonna instate a training program in your college, and hopefully it will draw in workers, and it will also allow for students to get real working experience while working towards their diploma." And during the pandemic, obviously, we hit a very low employment rate, as well as many students were dealing with the difficulties of switching from the in-person learning to online and other factors like that. And as they returned, you saw a lot of dropout rates increasing as people returned into the in-person learning. So by almost allowing them to get a credit and a job just right coming out of that pandemic time, it would provide a lot of not just financial support, but a lot of mental support for these students as well, because the strain of having a financial impact while you're in college and in debt, it takes a toll on your mental health. So by allowing them to kind of take one thing off the plate, like at least they have a job, at least have money coming in, and obviously they have credit going towards their diploma, I think it's a good solution that could really impact these students in a good way. And for the online, for improving the online accessibility to online classes and the technology needed for online classes, it helps reduce identity threat faced for those who think, as I used in my anecdote, it was about a girl who lived in a rural town and she didn't have access to internet, and she would go to her library, but the library was closed because of the pandemic. By helping and opening up the accessibility to technology, access to internet, or any of these support systems, it allows them to try to get away from that stereotype or identity threat that they are just uneducated or that they won't get the education that they deserve just because they're from a certain background or a certain group. And I think that if they didn't have to, obviously there's not much we can do in some cases for these people, but if we did open up that accessibility, provide either socially distanced computer rooms for these kids, giving them the laptops or any online technology they need, it can really help at least take that mental toll off them, make them feel like they are worth their education and that they deserve a chance to make it. And I feel like definitely in a lot of people during the pandemic, they just kind of gave up and succumbed to that identity threat just because, their local McDonald's weren't letting them use their internet access, which is, it's sad. It's sad for them. So I think by opening this up, we can really help reduce the identity contingencies found in society. Both of these solutions could greatly help these college students.